Alright, it is time for some good old-fashioned top 10 list action. Hello everybody on YouTube, it is your boy the Memphis XLR8 coming at you with a top 10 list of the top 10 number monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! For this list we're going to be looking at numbers 1 through 107 and seeing which monsters I believe are the best of the best, the cream of the crop, the best boys in the hood. Like I said, this list is for numbers 1 through 107. Chaos numbers not going to be included this time, although I will take them into consideration for the ranks of these monsters. And so, enough said, let's go ahead and get started with this list. And remember, if you guys have any sort of opinion on my list, it's a very subjective thing, go ahead and leave it in the comments. I love the discourse. So for our number 10 option, I've picked number 23, Lancelot, the Dark Knight of the Underworld. A very nice rank 8 Dark Xyz monster. He's got a whole bunch of effects. He can attack directly while he has material. When he does damage, he can pop a face-up monster. And he has an Omni negation during either player's turn by detaching a material. Very cool monster. The reason I kept him on the bottom of the list is a couple reasons. Number one, you never see this guy played anymore. It's a sad thing, but it's true. He's just been overlooked for a long time. And part of that may be because of the second reason. His Omni negation, while very powerful and potent, is actually not an optional thing. So if this guy lasts too long, you can actually be locked into not using your own effects as much as you'd want. Because if you activate a card effect, your own Lancelot will negate it. So while this guy is really cool, and I do like him a lot, I had to keep him on the bottom of the list for that reason. At number 9, we have number 77, the Seven Sins, a very nice dark rank 12 Xyz with 4,000 attack, 3,000 defense, a very cool boy. You'll see in a lot of rank 10 train builds and the like. You can summon him off of any rank 10 or 11 Dark Xyz monster using that monster as material, which makes this guy very easy to bring out. He also has the effect that, you can attach 2 materials in order to banish all the special summon monsters your opponent controls, and attach one as a material, and you can also detach materials from this dude to protect himself from battle or card effect destruction. Now this guy is one of my favorites. He actually helped me out a long time ago back in full power Zodiac format. The first time I dueled Zodiacs, actually, I won because of this boy. So, very good boy. He's a very good boy. He can protect himself. He's got a huge body. He's easy to summon. The one thing keeping him down, though, is that he can't use his banish effect during the turn that he is himself summoned by stacking on top of other Xyz. And, it's kind of, necessary for that. That is a very powerful mass removal effect. So I understand why Konami did it, but at the same time, Dark Hole and things like that. Come on, Konami, you could have allowed Seven Sins to have done it. Come on, man, he could have been so much more powerful. But regardless, he's a good boy, and so he earned his spot on the list. So at number 8, we have number 11, Big Eye, a good old rank 7 boy that can detach a material to target and take control of an opponent's monster at the cost of him not being able to attack. Number 11 is a very good boy. He's able to steal your opponent's stuff, and he doesn't restrict that monster from attacking or using its effects, unlike Crackdown, for example. So, a very nice effect. It is a little trickier to summon Big Eye, because obviously level 7 is not the greatest level in the world, but, it's something. There's certain decks that can just pop this thing out, no big deal. So, Big Eye, an iconic monster. I remember back in Dragon Roller format, this guy was running everywhere. So he gets his spot on the list as a very good boy that just makes use of all of your opponent's stuff all the time. Number 7, we've got ourselves a very iconic Xyz monster, number 101, Silent Honor Arc. This is a very powerful Aqua monster. He's a rank 4 who has the effect of detaching 2 materials to target a special summon monster of your opponent in attack mode and attach it to this card as material. And this guy can also detach materials to protect himself from being destroyed, much like number 77. So number 101 is a very popular choice back in the day for just removing problematic monsters from the board. Targeted protection wasn't always a thing, so you were able to steal your opponent's big monsters fairly easily with this thing, or just anything that they wanted on the board that you didn't want on the board. And so Honor Arc, very, very cool dude. It's a little restrictive that he has to target attack mode monsters that are special summoned, but, it's not like he's restricted to things summoned from the extra deck. So, Honor Arc, very good dude. He was able to steal a whole bunch of stuff and just protect himself and just clear boards and make way for your victory. So he earns his spot on this list in my book. Yeah, we're getting to number 6 here. We got number 38, Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy. What a mouthful of a name this boy is. Good old rank 8 Dragon Exceed with 3,000 big old attack. Once per turn, he negates spell cards. It's very cool. I mean, the spell cards very prevalent these days. Second only to monster effects. You also have a very nice effect of protecting your other monsters. Basically, if your opponent tries to attack anything else, you can detach a material from Hope Harbinger to redirect the attack to himself. Very cool. You see this guy in like a lot of decks. Any deck that can make a rank 8 will more often than not be running Hope Harbinger in it. He also has another effect of if an Exceed is destroyed, you can target a face-up Exceed you control and it gains attack equal to that monster's original attack. Which isn't always gonna happen, but it is a possibility of Titanic Galaxy going up possibly 2,000-3,000 more attack points, depending on what monster's destroyed. So this guy gets my vote for a very cool dude that is still very much relevant even today. So there you go. Alright, getting into the top 5 here. We got number 39, Utopia. I know a lot of people are expecting this guy at number 1. No. Okay, so here's the thing with Utopia, guys. His normal effect of negating attacks, it's only really relevant under a certain situation, and that situation is pretty much the only reason that Utopia is running anymore. Utopia has the most forms out of any number. He has so many chaos variants and re-overlays and things. It's kind of ridiculous. It really is. And more often than not, the only reason you see Utopia these days is because of Utopia Double, and originally only because of Utopia the Lightning. So, Utopia himself is not a good number monster. It's the things you stack on top of Utopia that are good, which is why I had to throw him on this list, and I did have to put him this high on the list, because Lightning and Double are such iconic things, and just, I had to put Utopia on the list. He's there on the list, so I gave him number 5, and I think he should be grateful. Going to number 4, we have number 90, Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, another rank 8 Exceed monster. If he's got photons as material, he can't be destroyed by card effects, which is a very good effect, I have to say. He also has the effect that when an opponent's monster uses its effects, you can attach material to negate that effect, and if it's detaching material as a Galaxy card, you destroy that card. It also has the effect that you can take a Photon or Galaxy card from the deck, and either add it to your hand or attach it to it as material. So, a lot of really good effects on Photon Lord, very good control sort of thing. The reason I didn't put it in number, higher than this, honestly, the fact that it is restricted to Galaxy and Photon to make full use of it. I mean, you can run it in anything, but the best way of using it is in Galaxy Photon. Which is not actually a bad thing. Galaxy Photons are a rank 8 sort of Exceed build. So, you could easily put this thing in Galaxy Photons and summon it just easily. It's not that hard to do. So, I put this guy at number 4, and I think he deserves to be in the top 5 nonetheless. Alright, top 3. This one's one of my favorites. Number 54, Lionheart. I love this boy. This guy is a rank 1 Exceed monster, 100 attack defense, can't be beaten in battle on attack position. And if you take battle damage, your opponent takes effect damage equal to the battle damage you took. And you can detach materials so your opponent takes all the damage. Okay, look. This guy is kind of biased for me because I love this dude. I throw this guy into my Karibo deck, and he's like my boss monster. I've won so many duels off of Lionheart, just beating into my opponent. And your opponent never realizes that what Lionheart does is not a once per turn thing. You can keep detaching materials as long as he's got materials. You can keep doing damage so long as there's damage to be dealt. As soon as you're ahead in life points, Lionheart can win you the game. And people just don't understand that. So, that's what Lionheart is, and that's what he does. He's a man with some fists, and he connects those fists with your face. So, I'm putting Lionheart as number 3, and I'm going to leave it right there. Number 2 on the list, number 81, Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Superior Dora. This is a rank 10 trainee monster with 3200 attack and 4000 defense. And Dora's only effect is you can detach a material, target a face-up monster, and make it unaffected by card effects, except its own until the end of the turn. Now, Dora is a fantastic monster, right at home in her native deck of trains, and just very iconic monster, mostly thanks to our boy Rada. But you know what? Trains have a special place in my heart as well. I love trains. They're a very cool deck. They harken back to the old days of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it was all about big monsters and big beats. And so Dora is a very good monster on her own. She can be a big old 4000 booty that can make herself immune to all of the card effects. She can also very easily fit in a deck with 7 sins because, again, it can make it off a rank 10. And Dora's a rank 10 in a deck that's focused around rank 10s. So, Dora is a very good monster. I very much like her. I also like Libe on top of it, just so it can do even more damage. So I'm going to put Dora as number 2, and that'll be number 2. Let's go into honorable mentions. Honorable mentions today, we got number 64, Sandayu, for being an iconic little monster, able to spawn tokens that are for big beats. And I'm also going to throw on numbers 42, 86, 95, and 16 for being so good that they are banned. Alrighty, now it's time for number 1. Number 41, Baguska the Terribly Toiled Taper, or just Baguska, because no one in the right mind ever calls it that. This is a very beautiful rank 4 fiend monster who has a very, very cool effect. While his card's in defense position, all face-up monsters get changed to defensive position, and their activated effects are negated if they are in defensive mode. In offensive mode, this monster cannot be destroyed by card effects, and your opponent cannot target it with card effects. However, every turn you lose material. Baguska is at the top of this list for a good reason. He locks out everybody else on this list. Baguska is a really good monster for any deck that can make a rank 4 and just needs a bit of defense, a bit of stall to just generate more resources and get ready for that big beatdown. Baguska is just totally generic materials, 2 level 4 monsters, and so he's just welcome in any deck. You know, you can throw him into literally anything to make a level 4s and rank 4s. And so that's why I had to put him on the top of the list, because he literally outs everything else on this list. Everything else on this list will be put in defense mode, and they can't do anything. So there's my list, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed it, smash like and all that good stuff. And if you feel like I've made some sort of horrifying error, let me know in the comments. And your boy's going to be going, and I'm going to be next time doing a top 10, the worst number monsters in the game. So I hope to see you guys there, and your boy Memphis is signing out. Take care, until next time.